Good morning, everybody. Today, I wanted to talk to you about two important types of exercise, weight-bearing exercise and resistance training. And why is this important? Well, being of middle age and embracing the fact that my body is changing with age and I have to work a little bit harder, I am really looking for getting the biggest bang out of my buck, so to speak, meaning what can I do to gain strength and cardiovascular endurance and get stronger, right? So I'm really thinking about time crunch here and people are busy lives. So what can we do to get both? So that's where I was posting yesterday about my rucking. I love to walk. You guys already know rucking. I don't have it with me, but there's a backpack. There's a company called Go Ruck. It's a veteran organization started by a veteran, military veteran, as a U.S. Air Force veteran myself. So I feel a kinship there, but it's a pretty cool thing. They've created these backpacks that carry plates. They start at 10-pound plates and they can go upwards from there. So they're rugged and you can use them for different type of exercises. They have different handles, a little bit different than a regular backpack, but you could certainly use a regular backpack. There's certainly no wrong way to do this. You could even use a weighted vest you could get elsewhere. And hi, Carrie. And so part of the reason I wanted to speak to this is that so many women, especially younger and middle-aged women, we don't think about what can we be doing to improve our muscle strength as we are younger. It's really important because by age 30, the bone bank is closing down, right? So they say that, your bone growth and density is going to be slowing down and you'll start to lose some bone density if we don't actively work to either maintain it and potentially improve it. So if you're interested, on the drmarbus.com website, I have an entire ebook and workshop all about osteoporosis and literally a checkoff list on what to do. You can even get all of my workshops for one flat fee. But anyway, some really good stuff there. I worked really hard to put all that stuff together. So let's just jump in real quick. What is the difference between weight bearing and resistance training? Even though they're related, they are very distinct types of physical activity, right? So let's see what the difference is. So weight bearing exercises are activities where you carry your own body weight or an additional load while you perform the exercise. So rucking, for example, or carrying your books to school in a heavy backpack, that would be an example of weight-bearing exercise. Really, the primary focus is the impact or stress placed on your bones, which helps strengthen them, but that include walking, running, dancing, stair climbing, hiking, basketball, tennis, anything that you're doing some kind of compounding movement, or pounding movement, excuse me. In these activities, your feet and legs really support your weight against gravity, which can improve your bone density because it's this axial load, right? So that's where bone density improves, is when you have the load going downward towards the earth, the gravity this way. But it also helps with balance and cardiovascular health. So that's why I liked rucking. So I have a 10-pound plate in my backpack. I also have these smaller 1.5 little sandbag. You can make your own too. It's no big deal. They're 1.5 pounds that I'll be increasing those. I've done 11 pounds in the past. I'll probably throw in 1.5 pound one later this week. And we trekked up some pretty decent hills yesterday. We did about 3.5 miles. Feel pretty good today, so I feel like I can add some more weight. But I'm already walking 20,000 steps a day on my well-being challenge. So that's about 8 to 9 miles a day. Certainly felt it the first few days, even though it was just a few more thousand. I was averaging like 5,000 steps a day, or 15,000 steps a day. I've just added 5,000 more a day. You could feel a little bit more, right? Because one, it take a little bit more time, but now I've also added the weight. I don't do it in my mornings. I just want that to be more of my mindful movement piece. But the evenings, I'm pushing it. So anyway, what are some other things to think about for resistance training, right? So resistance training is also known as resistance training or weight training, right? Specifically, that's targeting muscle strength, power, output like that, hypertrophy of muscles. And that really is basically moving your body or part of your body against resistance, right? So this can come from free weights like dumbbells or barbells, weight machines, resistance bands, or even your own body weight, such as push-ups or pull-ups, right? You're pulling yourself up or pulling that resistance of the weight of your body, or other objects that can create the resistance. So the primary purpose is muscular strength, power, endurance, and muscle mass. So what are the key differences? Really, it's focus, right? So weight-bearing exercise focus on supporting or moving the body's weight against gravity, beneficial again for your bone health, while resistance training focuses on muscle exertion against external resistance, primarily for muscle strengthening. So the primary benefits are, of course, weight-bearing exercises improve bone density and cardiovascular health, whereas resistance training is more effective for increasing muscle strength, size, and metabolic rate, but also good for bones as well. So your equipment, weight-bearing can be minimal. Again, can be as much as your body, or resistance training can include a wide variety of equipment, kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells, your own body weight, resistance bands, machines, lots of things to use. And they definitely overlap, right? So for example, body weight exercises like squats and push-ups are both weight-bearing and forms of resistance training because they're strengthening bones and muscles simultaneously. Even squats, you can do additional weights with your squats, as we all are fully aware. But you can just do body weight squats, that alone. So, really, I think there's importance for both. And if you can combine both, that's even better. So another thing that I've been really focused in on is really thinking about mobility and functional movement and saying, what can I do to really be able to move my body in ways like when I was a child, right? So how can I get on the ground and play and move my body and twist and turn it? Because again, so let's say you're getting out of the car and you're bringing in the groceries and you drop one, but you have a handful of something, or you have a squealing child in an arm and you drop something, you need to pick it up. So you need to twist and turn and be able to lift. So these are the functional pieces about movement that are so important, especially as we age. We get stiffer, we're sitting in, sedentary jobs, and we're just not getting out as much and moving like we used to or needed to in order to just get things done that in order for survival, or washing machines didn't exist. Washing machines, dishwashing machines didn't exist. You didn't have, stoves and ovens and microwaves. So your physical existence required much more work. And I'm not saying we need to go back to that, but we need to be very intentional about moving our bodies in ways that will allow us to age gracefully and be able to do the things that we still want to be able to do while we still can. Granted, I'm not saying aging is not a process that's going to occur, but it certainly doesn't need to be one that limits your ability to do the things that you love and want to do. And like I said, being in my middle 50s now, it definitely is a wake-up call to pay more attention to this and hopefully help patients and people listening to educate them to move our body and not be afraid to try things. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to start with the heavyweight. If you want to consider rucking or adding on some type of weighted vest to move your body, you can do it just cleaning house, or when you're even at work. If you have a job, like let's say you're a cashier and you want to wear a little bit of weighted vest, again, you could just start with maybe something like 1 pound or 2 pounds. Doesn't have to be anything fancy or stressful, especially if you're going to be wearing it for long periods of time. I would start maybe 15 to 20 minutes first to see how you feel. If you have a history of osteoporosis or what we call a fragility fracture, especially in the spine, I would be very careful about doing weighted vests until you speak to your doctor or they refer you to a physical therapist who has a specialty in osteoporosis, and really thinking about what are the best exercises for you in your current state of health. And again, you're going to burn more calories by walking with some extra weight, right? It's like gaining 10 pounds without having to buy new clothes for a bigger size, or feeling uncomfortable there, or eating your way to a bigger size. You just add it and then you can take it off at the end of the day. Again, it's important for bone health, and that's my primary focus. My DEXA scan has shown, I've had 2, that they're pretty good. My bone health is fine, but I want to build more muscle, but also improve cardiovascular fitness, which is still pretty good already. My little watch does, I stopped wearing the Whoop because it kept messing up. It wasn't catching my sleep. I'm like, what's the point? So now I'm just relying on my Apple Watch. But it's interesting. The Apple Watch does like this VOQ, which is basically telling you how well your oxygen capacity is during exercise, like how your cardiovascular endurance fitness is. So that's a really interesting thing to look at. There's some other things that I'm finding interesting are HRV, heart rate variability, and how you're dealing with stress and things. The higher the number that is, the same as VO2 max. Again, just some things to think about. I think this is fascinating. I would look on my phone, but I'm using my phone on Instagram. My VO2 max was, what is it? I think it was close to 39, at least by Apple Watch standards. It had been over 40 in the past. They say it's high for someone my age. Again, this is not the kind that you'd probably want to go into a lab and they put the mask on you and they make you run on a treadmill. I'm not paying for that, nor am I don't necessarily I'm not that interested in my VO2 max to determine what the highest is, and going back and training, it just sounds not fun to me. But I'll rely on my Apple Watch. It's good enough for me. And so again, just looking at some things that you can measure and maybe do some little challenges to push yourself. So I'm going to be curious to see with the rucking. We're going to be doing this most days of the week if we don't have something planned in the evening. And we'll see if the VO2 max increases, because I'm hitting about where I was when I was training for the half marathon last year. So I do find that interesting that I haven't been running, but I've definitely been doing a lot of walking. And the VO2 max is just as good as it was when I was running a lot. So there's that. Again, end of one, just sharing so far what I'm thinking and doing. Hope that's helpful. But again, think about what you can do. I'm really would love to, I think, do more mobility and playing on the ground, just seeing what my body can do. I feel like that for me is more important than the functional strength than just, necessarily the aesthetic of muscles. All those are beautiful. I love people who do that. But for me, it's like I want to be able to do what I want when I want. So that's really, really important. Someone's asking what HRV should be. I think it will vary. So the higher, the better. What was interesting for mine went up. Mine goes up when I sleep better, which I think most people do. When I started doing my mindfulness walking and really focusing on stress reduction and getting rid of these negative thoughts and really understanding what it means to be present, my HRV shot up, right? So that's the parasympathetic being more online than the sympathetic. Not that you don't need both, because you do, but the parasympathetic was just obviously not being utilized as well as it should have been. And so that was exciting. So HRV can improve with time. Now, does it have a direct correlation to your clinical health? I think there's some indication so, but again, I haven't done a deep dive into it. I just know that stress reduction and mindfulness and has helped significantly with my own. But it'll vary day to day. So, I've seen mine above 100, and I've also seen it in the upper 20s. So again, really kind of correlating to stress and rest and hydration, what I've been doing to take care of myself. So just another important thing to know, that move your body, get your rest, eat your veggies, and mind your stress. And I think you're going to have a winning combination there. Of course, some days are different than others. Every moment is. But as long as you're keeping those things, just flow with life. Just let it go. Don't take anything personal. Everything gets easier. So you're like, yeah, easy to say, but I know. Trust me, I know. But anyway, I hope that's helpful. So think about it. If you want to grab a weighted vest or do some other type of, even resistance training against, let's say, push-ups against the counter, if that's where you need to start, or just getting up and down from your chair a few times, doing some squats like that. I think there's a lot of benefit in moving your body and seeing what you can do, different types of squats. Yeah. So anyway, those were my thoughts today. I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you found it helpful. And if you have any other questions, I have tons of resources at the drmarbus.com website. Please check it out. I've got free guides, free courses. We've got the Healing Kitchen with Brittany Giroudi. I've got the Psychology of Weight Loss and monthly coaching. You get lifetime access to the monthly coaching once you buy the course. To come and visit as many times as you'd like. We'll be doing a cholesterol and glucose mastermind course with also lifetime monthly coaching. I'm kind of rearranging that. You get a CGM with that. Working on that. There's been a lot going on. I have my hypertension summit as well. A lot going on, but I'm super excited. And if you're needing a doc, I'm licensed in all 50 states. Happy to help you, one time or ongoing patient. Again, just hoping I can help you guys get healthier. So Lori's asking, VO2 higher than better? Yes, higher the better, but it does naturally decline with age. So your 50-year-old self will not be your 20-year-old self, and that's okay. We don't need to be. We just need to be the best we can at this moment. So what can you do in this one moment to make your health a little bit better? That's all you need to worry about. What can I do in this one moment? And that would include me finishing my banana. So you guys have a good rest of your day. As always, thank you for being here. And I want to be sending you love, peace, joy, healing, and abundance, because that's what we need more of in this world. And know that I'm giving it to you wherever you're seeing it. If it's later, if it's next year or 10 years from now, I hope that you know that I'm sending that to you in your life. So appreciate your time with me, and I'll be back tomorrow with who knows what. Please comment below what you find helpful, what you'd like to learn more about, and I'll do my best to bring that to you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.